Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Michaela. If you've never been here before, I typically don't start my videos already crying. Usually we warm up to it around here, but I guess there is a first time for everything. I mean, you guys see the title, Heartbreak 1 Year Later. I think that's what I'm gonna title it anyways. So I'm just gonna get into it. I am kind of icky looking because I just went to the gym. It is late at night, and in the car I just had all these emotions like on my way home, so I wanted to come home and like film it right away while I had the emotions. So excuse me, I haven't showered yet. I'm going to right after this, but I just wanted to get the rawest emotions that I have right now. The past 2 days have been really hard for me, and I didn't really understand why, right? Like I was just kind of like in a bad mood. I was angry for no reason, and I was like, my period isn't even close. Like I don't really know why I'm having these feelings. And simultaneously, I've been knowing that a year ago, on the 4th, which I mean it's like midnight by now, so a year ago today, I had the worst day of my life, and I didn't really correlate the two. I didn't correlate me feeling like shit the past 2 days and the fact that this happened a year ago. But now I've correlated it, and I understand that that's why I've been feeling so upset. Your body remembers traumatic events. So it's the year-versary. I've been calling it my single-versary. And I'm gonna take myself out on a date today and just celebrate myself today. But I guess I'll explain a little bit about what I'm talking about, and then we'll get into how everything has been for me for the past year. I just kind of want to give you guys a update. I want to, of course, I vlog, of course, like, you know, we talk about my feelings all the time on here, but I want to come give a step-by-step. This video might be long, but it's needed, and I've been looking forward to doing this video for a year, honestly. I have been just praying that I can make it to this point. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I have a video called my experience with a narcissist, or something along the lines of that, talking about my abusive relationship. I was really numb in that video. It was very soon after the event, so it was kind of hard to have emotion in it. But if you want to go watch that video, you're totally welcome to. It's the whole story. It's like an hour-long video. Again, that video was hard for me to film, and it maybe seems like I'm detached from the situation in that video just because I was numb and it was hard to talk about, but I felt like it was something I needed to talk about for my healing. So if you want the entire story, you can go watch that, but I'll give you kind of a synopsis if you don't want to watch that entire video. That entire video is like specifics on the fights and stuff we would have and stuff like that. So basically, I was dating this guy for a year and a half, and I was physically abused, I was emotionally abused. He broke my stuff. I still have the computer that he like hammered in and stuff like that. So a year ago today, we had the worst fight. I don't even like calling it a fight. Like, we had the worst, I don't know what to call it, like the worst part of the abuse happened. We were in a car, and he threatened to crash the car and kill both of us. And he was going so fast on the highway and threatened that, and I threw a bunch of my stuff out the car when we were going so fast on the highway. And that happened a year ago today. So this video is not about him, this video is about me. So again, if you want that story, go watch that video, but this video is not about him. This video is about me. On that day, I chose myself. On that day, I said, I'm done with this. I said, I cannot do this anymore. And I moved in with my mom the next couple days after I decided I was done with him, it was hard. And I did, of course, like talk to him and see him afterwards and all of that. But at that moment, I really knew that I had to be done. And I knew that there was no going back. I knew that if I stayed with him, I would die. Like I really knew that from the depths of my core. And so I moved in with my mom. That's where I live now. So I've been living with her for about a year as well. Thankfully, I have a bed now. I started living here on the couch over there, and I've kind of made it my home now. But it's so good to live around someone who loves me so much, especially in the time that I was in when I first moved in here. So I decided within the week of this happening, I was going to be single for a year. I have a video on my experience with serial monogamy, which you can go watch as well if you're interested in this. But I was the person that jumped from relationship to relationship, long-term relationship to relationship, not giving myself enough time to heal, because basically, a synopsis, like I basically just had a lot of trauma from my father and was trying to fill the void of my father with other men. And I didn't know that at the time, but having this year to myself, I realized that. And the last relationship was kind of just my breaking point in that. I kind of just sat down and had to talk with myself like, Michaela, you can clearly not pick a man right now, so let's be by ourselves. And that was the scariest thing to me ever, was to be alone. I didn't think I could do it, and I didn't think I was gonna make it through this. I didn't think I could do it. Yeah, and tonight I just broke down and was like, you did it. You fucking did it. And you thought you couldn't. And if you can do this, imagine what the fuck else you can do, right? So I guess we can talk about everything that I've learned. It's so hard to think of everything that's happened in this past year, but we can try to go from the beginning to now. In the beginning, it was really hard to be by myself. Honestly, like the first month was kind of easy to be by myself because I was so bitter. I was so angry. I was so hurt from the situation, and I hated this person. I held so much hatred, and I mean, if you go look and watch my videos from that period of time last year, you will see the hatred, you will hear it, you will feel it. I had so much hatred towards this person, and honestly, towards myself, that I even let myself be with him. And I blamed him for a long time, and then I went to blaming myself for being with him and everything in between. I blamed my mom for not making me get out of the relationship. I blamed everyone, but there's no one to blame in this situation. And it was something that no matter how much it hurt me, no matter how crazy it was, no matter how out of a movie that experience was, I needed it. And the universe, I needed it, okay? So, yeah, I went through a lot that first like month of just a bunch of anger, not knowing what to do with it. And after that first month, I remember going through a forgiveness stage. I remember going through a stage of, honestly, in the beginning, it was very much so denial. I was like, there is no way that this person is that evil. There is no way that he is meaning to do this. It was very much like making excuses for him like I had in the past, like in a relationship. I made so many excuses for him. I was like, he had an awful childhood, he had a blah, 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 blah. So it's okay that he does this to me. It's okay that he hurts me. It's okay that he's mean to me. It's okay that blah, 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 because that's all I deserve, basically. I didn't know in the time, at the time, that's what I thought about myself, but that is exactly why I stayed with him, because I didn't think I could get anything better. So we went from denial to hatred to forgiveness. I knew that I had to forgive him, not for him, but for me. I knew that I couldn't keep hating him. I knew that I was a willing participant in this relationship. I could have left at any time, and that this was my choice to be in this relationship, and I needed to figure out why I stayed in the relationship so long. So I made a commitment to be alone for a year. So in this forgiveness period of time, I talked to him on and off. I talked to him a lot, and looking back, I needed that too. I needed to be proven over and over that he hadn't changed. I needed that. I needed to be let down over and over. I needed to open myself back up and close back off. I needed that. This shows how much he gave a fuck about me. Within 3 days of us breaking up, he moved states. He was gone. He left me with the apartment. He left me with the dog. He left me with everything to deal with. And luckily, I kind of skipped this part, but I also have a video on this. It's called I Got a Protection Order Against My Ex. But after that fight, within a couple days, I got a protection order, partially because I didn't want him to be able to contact me. I didn't want to hear from him. I wanted something solid that was like, this person did something to hurt you. Here's proof, for myself and for everyone around me, and just to have this thing and to protect myself, of course. And I also got it to not let myself go back to him. It was kind of a, you did this and you cannot go back to him because you did this. I knew that I was gonna want to talk to him. I knew that I was gonna want to get back to him. I knew that I was gonna want all these things, because that's what happens when someone manipulates you. That's what happens when someone abuses you. You form an even closer bond with them, called a trauma bond, because they're the ones that hurt you, and they're also the ones that heal you. In that dynamic, in that situation, that's how you feel. Now I realize that the only person that can heal you is yourself. Over this year, I've done so much of that, but at the time, that's how I was feeling. So that's why I got the protection order. I told the judge the story. She was like, oh my God, like, she didn't even need proof. I had so much proof. And I told her that, but she didn't even ask for it. I think she just saw how broken I was and how I talked about the situation and how numb I was, and she just believed me. Which, looking back, I really needed someone to believe me, because I felt crazy. I grew up in a household where if someone hurt you, you're just supposed to deal with it and love them until I don't know, you just love them until things get better. I don't know, but yeah, I had so much proof, and she didn't need it, and she just believed me. I had photos of, oh my God, I had photos of the computer that he broke. He broke my computer chair. He would rip my clothes off my body. He would, I remember before I was going to work one day, he took my work clothes and he cut them with scissors, literally cut them. And that was the only like work clothes I had, and stopped me from going to work. And then he ended up buying me a new pair of clothes to go to work. And that's how manipulative it was. Like, it's like, I'm gonna do this to fuck with your head, but then I'm gonna buy it for you so you can't complain. I'm gonna fix it, you know, that kind of thing. and I had proof of all of it, but she didn't need it. So I got the protection order, and if I contacted him, I couldn't get in trouble, but if he contacted me on any occasion, he would get in trouble. But the thing is, he moved states, so that made it very difficult for anything to happen. He did break the protection order. He did not care. He texted me, he called me, he did all that kind of stuff before I even reached out to him. The only reason I even responded to him is because he would send me long, sappy text messages from other numbers after I would have him blocked. And whenever you're in a vulnerable state like that, and the person that you love comes back to you and says all these things and kind of like guilts you by saying like, I know you hate me, but I'm so sorry, blah 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 blah, like stuff like that, like anyone with a heart is gonna feel something, you know. And he would text me from different numbers. I would have everything blocked, and he would text me, which I didn't really tell you guys about. I made so many videos during this time, so again, you can go watch those for like the full, like in the moment, whatever. So fast forward, I started hanging out with guys again. My intention was to be single, but at the same time, I wanted to, I guess, just have company. I wanted to see if I was the type of person that wanted to hook up. I wanted to see like who I was without him. So I started hanging out with guys. Never really had a good time. I hooked up with a couple guys, did not like it, was not feeling it, but just did it anyways. And after those couple guys, I had told myself like, okay, we're not gonna do this. This is not for you. It's hurting you more than it is helping you. So I decided to be celibate. So I've been celibate since July, except for one drunken night on my birthday that I really don't remember and I regret. So on November 8th, I slept with someone, but it was 5 minutes. I was drunk and I don't count it. So technically, I've been celibate since November, but technically, I've been celibate since July. That's what I count. I wish that thing in November never happened, and I was just really drunk, and that's why I don't really drink anymore. But yes, I ended up talking to him back and forth. I remember feeling really hurt after sleeping with someone, and he messaged me, and I ended up talking to him for a couple of days. But every time I talked to him, for a prolonged period of time, I would just get sick, like sick to my stomach, and I would just end up blocking him every time. And I want to be completely honest about this because it is so normal to reach out to your abuser. It is so normal, and I see so many people coming out with like rape stories or with sexual assault stories or stuff like that, and everybody's like, why would you reach out to them afterwards? But that's what happens. And I'm not saying he did that to me. I'm saying I was abused by him, yes, but I'm not saying that anything like that happened. But it's just the same thing. You form trauma bonds to someone, and they are the only person you feel like can fix you, whatever you want. You feel like they are going to be able to give you what you want in that moment. So it's completely normal, and I want everybody to know that it's completely normal to reach out to the person that hurt you over and over. It's okay. And eventually you will have had enough of it, and you will get out of it, and you will block them, and there will be a time where you finally block them and you will never unblock them. I promise there will be a time. You just kind of have to let it run its course. But yeah, I just really learned a lot about myself. I learned that I am someone that wants the deepest love. I am someone that loves people hard, and I'm someone that needs that back. And I think that's why I've had a lot of issues in relationships, because I give that, but the other person doesn't. And that makes me susceptible to people like my ex that take advantage of that. And That's something I've learned about myself during this time. I've also learned that I love being alone. I've learned that being single has been one of the best things that ever happened to me. I've learned what I like, what I don't like, what I like to do in my free time, what's me and what's other people, you know? Like when you're alone, you notice things about yourself that you notice what you bring to a relationship, right? You notice what you bring to the world versus what you're kind of like a team in. When you're a relationship, in my past, whenever I was in relationships, it was like we are one type of thing. Like I did not have individuality in my relationships for the most part, and I kind of just saw us as one. That's what I wanted at the time. But now I have so much individuality, and I remember after we broke up, I started taking YouTube seriously. YouTube was my dream. It still is my dream, but it was my dream, and I knew I had to do something for myself. I knew I had to pour all of the energy that I was using on him into something else, so I would not want to talk to him, and so that I was using my time wisely. So I decided to go all in on YouTube, and I started being vulnerable. I started posting videos that I would have never posted in the past, and I started just talking, and that really made my channel grow, just being real. And I remember whenever we broke up, I was at like 150 subscribers or less, and now I'm over 2,400 something. So that really made my channel grow. Whenever I decided to really commit to YouTube, I also started an OnlyFans, which is something that I wanted to do even when I was with him. I was thinking about it, but being single really just gave me the autonomy over my own body, and I said, fuck it, let's go. And that has been one of the best things that has ever happened to me. It's grown my channel so much just from the OnlyFans videos and from everything like that, and just showing myself that like, hey, you can make money online, you can do this if you want to. That just gave me so much empowerment. And I also really dug deep into spirituality. I started meditating, I started going to ceremonies, I started getting help, I started going to coaches and mentors, and I just spent this year diving deep into me and what I want and what I need. And I just did everything for me. I figured out, I started cooking for myself and grocery shopping for myself and organizing things the way I wanted to without having to think about another person. And I started taking up space on the earth and not feeling like I couldn't do anything. And I just started feeling like I was worth something. I built my self-worth up so much to the point where now that will never happen to me again. And that was my goal. My goal was, let's get you so good that you can see through these people before you even get in anything deep with them, where you can see through these people that are only here for certain reasons. And I am so grateful to say that I'm there. Like, I have been on so many dates where I'm like, okay, this person is not good for me. And being able to say no to certain things, and I don't know. It's been a magical year. It has been a magical, magical, magical year, and I have gotten so much out of it, and I'm excited to see where this next year takes me. I promised myself I would be single for a year, so now I think I'm gonna start dating, which I just got goosebumps, which makes me really excited. I mean, dating the right people makes me really excited, and the potential for how much love I can give and how much love I can receive really makes me excited. I don't know what's gonna happen in the next year, but I know that I needed this year. I needed this year to be single. I just needed this year. I've needed this year for years. I've needed to do this. And I'm just so proud of myself that I was able to. And I'm proud of myself for committing to myself, because if I can do this, I can do anything. But yeah, I love you guys. I think that's it. I don't know. I feel like there's so much I could have said, but I don't know. I think that's good. I love you guys. If you like this video and this is the first video you've ever seen from me, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel to see more like this. Don't forget to follow my Instagram. I'm on there every single day. Follow my OnlyFans. I'm on there every single day. And I also have a second channel where I do more raw videos like this that are just kind of like sit down and uncut. So if you're into that, go head over there, and I will see you in the next video, whenever that is. I love you guys. Bye.